I've got some things to say about this.
About what?
About Suicide Squad.
Okay.
You ready?
I want to hear it.
All right, well, fasten your seatbelt. Yeah. Perfect. Welcome to the dialogue, where movies are more than mindless entertainment. I'm Derek, and this is Andrew, and today we are going to review Suicide Squad. This is based off of the Suicide Squad comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
DC.
So if you've read those, then you kind of get the general premise of this. They've swapped out some of the characters that are from the comics and replaced them with other characters that people might be a little more familiar with. Basically, the movie is about this team of bad guys, villains.
Mm-hmm. Villains. Hell villains.
They've been put together by this lady called named Amanda. She's not called it. She's named Amanda Waller. So she puts together this task force, which is called the Suicide Squad or Task Force X. And basically, they're the ones who get crapped on when everything goes south. So basically, we're going to send these guys in, and then if things go south, we're blaming everything on them.
Right. It was also like a mutant team to battle mutants.
Right.
That was a big idea too.
Yeah, that's...
And I kind of actually like the fact that while they're all mutants on the squad, they're not like the vast majority of them, like almost all of them, aren't like Superman.
Right. They're kind of normal.
They're humanoid, if I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're not.
They got skills.
Right.
Not necessarily like walk through walls or something.
Right.
Like that.
Not fly, shoot laser beams, or
so
invincible.
I kind of like that. It had brought it down to earth a little bit. You know, I enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed the movie for a couple different reasons, but I will say, definitely that I had the kind of the complex of. There's so many characters and there's so much going on. Mm-hmm. I did want it to slow down. I did want to just watch more of the characters, especially ones that I liked. Deadshot, and then of course the Joker.
Yeah.
Jared Leto, I felt like completely nailed it as the Joker. I told you this. I don't. His voice rocks. Okay, like I could just close my eyes and listen to his performance.
Yeah.
No joke. I thought it was really good.
Pun intended. No.
It's a great job. There was a lot going on. And also, as a side note, some of you might be interested in this. There was more sensuality and language in this, definitely, and that was definitely the style that it went to. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, bad guys, and it just went all in there with the music too, the soundtrack. It was all kind of, it had that vibe, you know. That kind of off the street vibe. Does that make sense? Off the street?
Yeah, off the street.
Yeah, off the street.
Yeah,
and a lot of that I really enjoyed. So positives, I would definitely say, like I said, the performances. But there's a scene. There's two scenes mainly. Mm-hmm. One is and I'll try to make this quick without spoiling much of anything, which is actually interesting because I'm going to mention the barroom scene. That I'm calling the barroom scene. Mm-hmm. It's pretty obvious when you get there, and it was in a lot of the trailers, especially the very latest trailer. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this when we saw it. It's like, they're showing so much of this scene that it must be early on in the movie. Yeah. It's not, but they change it in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's not really spoiled, but it kind of is. Anyways,
you're right.
All these characters are mixing up. All this stuff is happening. They get to the barroom scene, and it's finally a sit down and talk. That was the moment that I was engaged into the movie. That was the moment that I said, okay, I'm starting to see characters develop. I'm starting to see what motivation is, that's a big theme of the movie. It was, are you being motivated by like other people trying to manipulate you for your self-interest? Because everybody's selfish, you know, and you can bank on that, and that's why you can manipulate everybody. Or is there's like this hidden, deeper love for other people that you can tap into, and that's the motivation for doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That was brilliant. I really loved that. That came through in multiple ways, especially in the end scene, which I won't say as much about. That was good too.
I'm going to say that I really enjoyed this movie too. And for all the negative kind of word or vibe that's kind of going around on the interwebs.
I've seen some of that.
Yeah, I feel like we need to mention this a little bit.
Okay.
Just to be like, it's not that bad, people. Like,
Well,
it
you
is
said
not.
you said Rotten Tomatoes was what, 20?
27% when I last saw it.
Okay.
So 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. That means that there's a large percentage of critics that are saying that the movie is not good.
Like really not good.
Yeah, really not good. I don't feel that way. I actually love this movie. And I'm going to tell you why. I love these characters. I loved the way that the story played out. I loved the action. Jared Leto killed it, like you said, with the Joker role. I wanted to see more of that, but I expected not to see a lot of that. And the reason being is because I did read the Suicide Squad comics before seeing this movie, which he's not really in those comics that much. And so when you think about that, it's like he's not part of the Suicide Squad. You kind of prepare yourself for him to not be in the movie as much. That being said, I thought he was in a decent amount of this movie. At least his presence.
His presence was throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's a great thing, and it's fantastic. I loved the relationship between the Joker and Harley Quinn. I feel like they really captured that, the feel of that in the comic books. I'm not saying it's a good relationship. I'm just saying that they captured the feel of what they had going there. Psychotic romance, if you want to think of that.
It's like the perpetual, what is going on?
Yeah. I also loved the themes of family and love that are in this. There's stuff at the end of this movie that I really want to tell you about because I just thought it was so good. But I'm not going to spoil it for you. But I loved it. Keep your eyes open if you're watching this movie for this stuff because it is so good, in my opinion.
So we should mention, and I don't know if you thought this, when they're all getting their weapons or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And Harley Quinn gets her like revolver, and there's some like interesting artwork on it. I was like, man, I really hope they use that.
Yeah.
And they do.
And they do.
They used it. Oh,
and
that was good.
It was good. I liked the comedy in this movie as well. It was a funny movie. Yep. That being said, some of the people, I could see how some people might not like the style of this movie because it is very much stylized. I think it's a good comic book movie, so I disagree with people who say that it's not a good comic book movie. I thought it was. I feel like it's a good action film. You know, yes, there is a lot of implementation of like little bad guys and Goonies kind of running around that these people are just hacking down, I guess you could say. But that does not make it bad. Explain to me how that makes it bad. Now, if you're just saying it's a weak plot overall and all that, I can understand that. But if you're saying they're being mindless drones that they're basically hacking down and killing, does that make it bad? I would say no. I don't think it does at all.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that wants to almost push it to a 9, but I think I could give it a solid 8. Just give it a solid 8.
So, I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay.
And there's some things that I feel like if they would have changed, it would have pushed it to a 10. Like, to me.
Yeah.
Like,
it had that potential.
And I mean simple things. Like, if they would have changed some simple things, it might have pushed it to a 10. And they all have to revolve around the story. But if they would have just changed some things, it would have been a 10 for me. But it's a 9, and it's a solid 9 for me.
All right, guys, let us know what you think. We know that a lot of people have opinions about movies and about this movie in general. So let us know. Join the dialogue by subscribing and joining our little posse of dialoguers. Also, like the video if you liked it. If you like us, if you don't like us, that's all right. We respect you. We respect you. As always,
but you're on our Deadshot hit list.
We'll call him up and give $2 million into his bank account, which is updated like in 2 seconds. Anyways, join us next time on The Dialogue.